Yes,
Yeah.
here you go. Here you are. Now I can hear you. Hello, Alfred.
Hello, Uli. How are you doing?
I am very fine. It's Friday evening. What a pleasure to have you Friday evening. Thank you.
Absolutely. I mean, so happy to be here. Looking forward to. I love your podcast. It's so great. So looking forward to meet you here in late Friday on a late Friday.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the compliments and thank you for joining me. And we have a really exciting topic to speak about. You are co-founder and CEO of Elorie AI. And surprise, surprise, I am also a part of Elorie. So we are speaking from colleague to colleague. I find that really cool.
Absolutely. And yeah, what a start. I mean, I really think days like this, I mean, we said that it was late on a Friday evening, but if we look back on what we have accomplished in the time we've had since Elorie was founded, wow, we should be proud.
Yes. Can you speak more about it? What do you exactly mean?
Yeah, of course, the confidentiality comes into place on some parts, but I have a very good memory. We had some recommendations from actually the co-founder of a company that is based in Stockholm. I don't know if you know about Price Runner, Ole, but he said that, a very good thing they did when they started Price Runner was to visit and be there in place, meeting every single company or the one you want to build relationship with. So me and Yaman actually took a tour and visited a lot of companies in different cities. We went on fairs just to get a better knowledge about what they're doing and how we could have helped them. And in that way, we iterated to get a very good start. Of course, we founded Elorie in the middle of November, so it was perhaps not the best time to start the company union that we have, but we have really done a lot of cool jobs and projects on both small stage, but also the big ones, and built a lot of good relationships with both partners and upcoming customers. So that feels great.
Let us invest some time in understanding and explaining what Elorie AI does. Before I joined you and the crew at Elorie, I visited the website like most people do. And it says, we execute AI. What does that mean?
Yeah, it's I'm a computer scientist at heart. I've done that. That's my profession, and both been within the commercial side of things and also in the technical side of things. And I happened to graduate where the same year when ChatGPT really boosted out in the society and became a commercial success. For us, it has been a common thing to use OpenAI's model. We, for example, use that when we participated and represented Sweden in the World Championships of AI and robotics a couple of years back. But still, you saw that this commercialization could really mean a lot of cool things. And since then, we have supported companies during our study time, building, proof of concepts and MVPs to make their ideas with AI go from an idea to something that's real, and actually also open up this door for other people and help them explore what you could do with the technology. And with the technology, I do not mean AI, which is perhaps the commercial view of it, like you're using existing foundational models and do things. I also mean that you build a model from scratch. You train your model from scratch. And there is actually a very cool intersection in between when you take an existing model but augment it with your own data and go from being a generalist, as a lot of these large language models are, to a specialist that is in a way your type of AI. So by doing this, you can get your own instance of the technology and sell that as a product too, of course. But to answer the question, what the execution actually means is actually something that we have to take one step backwards to know. I said that we have been strong commercially. We have understood it from a commercial side and the technical side, but it's a very hard thing to connect these two and get enterprises or startups, even though they find their own technique on how to use things, but to actually get the code out, to use the tools, to understand the technology. And that's where Elorie AI come in, both from a advisory part, but also from an implementation part. And nowadays, I don't know if you know about Maltbook, but from a security side of view as well. Because it's not that, even though it's very easy to work with these technologies today, it's still a lot of security that you have to put in place. And for that, you actually need experienced developers. So if someone asks me, well, I execute and I move things forward, I know AI. I often ask them, how safe is your structure? And that is something that's still untouched, but very, very important to know when developing products and systems. And that's also one of the reasons why developers will not disappear, because you have to come into a certain level to actually know these things and understand what the code does.
Okay. So, executing AI, does that mean that the competence profile of Elorie AI is mainly AI? So if companies look for execution in AI, is Elorie the place to go, or is it even broader? What is the competence profile?
That's a very, very good question. And I would say that it's actually more things than just executing AI. But executing AI is actually something that is within the core. So if you describe the team, I usually create a graph where we have junior. You can see for Lovable, for example, they hire people that is still going into the gymnasium that has not entered high school yet to work for them and to develop their skill. They have a completely new skill set and are grown up with the technology. And if you move up the ladder, then you get experienced people. In our team, we have people that has fantastic careers, leading companies and doing amazing tech. You are one of them, for example, Uli, that has made incredible journeys. And I think to describe Elorie, a good thing is that we, in a way, are the glue that connects the commercial side with the technology side, both with AI, but could also be without AI. So in abstract terms, we have AI in the core, and then we have the management part coming in, supporting how we do business, and the technology side, system developing, and building, website apps, could be pure software systems, but also autonomous systems. Some have the profiles of building autonomous robots and drones and cars. And during the World Championship, we did humanoid robots, so like human-like robots that acts like human. And we cover the entire spectra, both when it comes to the management side, the technological side, and also the combination of both. That's a real USP today.
You already mentioned that we are a team, so there's a team behind Elorie AI. It's a team of 8 at this stage. How come you and the others built this experience in developing and becoming an AI specialist. You already also mentioned that you represented Sweden in the World Robotics Championships. For me, you are Mr. World Champion. How did you develop into becoming this AI specialist? How did you build your knowledge?
It's absolutely training, doing things. And within Elorie, I think we have set a role model of four things. To be a part of Elorie, you have to have four things, and all are entrepreneurial uh, key foundational things to become an entrepreneur, I would say. And everyone has their own company with this union, which also um, augments this even further. But we're often looking for, we usually say that we're looking for a strong competence. You have to in a way, from a scientific translation, I would say you have to be a nerd in some scenery. You have to have some passion that you really strive to fulfill. Second of all, you have to have a very strong curiosity. You want to know new things. You want to learn new things. You have to be self-supervised, so that you understand that you have to take a big step towards getting to success and greatness. You are never fully learn, and you can always augment yourself in different categories. And of course, you have to be supportive and be a team player. And I would say that these four categories really makes you an expert over time. Some of the people we have in the team has just graduated from the university, but has filled their spare time, nights, evenings, with working with this technology. And by time, that's lead to greatness. That's what Lovable, for example, have seen. That, the people we have within Elorie, they may not have perhaps 3 to 5 to 10 years of experience with agentic AI, but who does actually? I mean, in a way, that's an old model on how you see assignments. Like, you have to have these years of experience to fulfill something. But the experts, they that could not be counted on time, in my opinion. That's something completely else. If you are an expert, if you know things, then you have experienced things. You're eager to learn more, and this is also very clear from an entrepreneurial standpoint, in my view. You become an expert by training. Zlatan Ibrahimovic did not become the world's best soccer player because he was the oldest. It's because he trained and he learned new things along the way. He wanted to try new things. He wanted to execute along the way. And he dared to execute. I mean, that's another cool topic. How many people today haven't been at a role where they have been perhaps working, not improving that much? They have a stable ground. They are always looking forward towards the weekend, and they just want the day to end, but have these years of experience, but actually not like their job. We love our job. That's a key factor for being a specialist. Zlatan loves football, and we love AI. That's the short answer.
And we will both be very close to Zlatan next week at Tech Arena. Maybe this message goes out to him and we can meet.
Yeah.
So, so Alfred, you are founder of Elorie AI. You represented Sweden in the World Robotics Championships. You actually fulfill the criteria, the four that you mentioned earlier, in a very impressive way. I've experienced working with you for several weeks, months even. For me, you are not only an AI specialist, you are an all-round talent. You are also Mr. Hackerping.
Correct.
Explain what you did last year, building a successful hackathon in Linköping, the fifth largest city in Sweden.
Yeah, and this really is something that's it's something. The fourth part is about to being supportive and be a team. And in Linköping, being the fifth largest city and of Sweden, and actually the most innovative city in Europe. The one could definitely
Yes.
say, I've grown up with a quotation, a citation being Linköping, the town where ideas come to reality. And I all things actually started very tragically, and I've actually not shared this so much with other. I've not shared it publicly because it has been something that has been my inner force to do things, but not something that I've spoke to anyone about until the event was done and when things have settled down. And it's actually the reason why Hackerping came to life is actually because of a tragic accident that occurred to one of my mentors. Not this year, but last year, the 20th of August. It was a very, very hard day. I mentioned that I was a part of the hackathon a couple of months back, less than a year back, and that I before that participated and represented Sweden in the RoboCup. And the reason why I did that from the first place is due to a person called Fredrik Lövgren. He unfortunately is not with us today. He passed away in a bus accident that date, the 20th of August, and he had also these four categories. We did never speak about it, but I thought about it a lot. That he always saw the team first. For him, nothing was impossible. You could always learn new things. Together you can manage even the most impossible things, and you only have to dare to execute. You have to fail, because the people that are not daring to fail are the ones that actually fail. This did not become clear. This is not why I created Hackerping together with the fantastic partners, Sillers, now called the Two Heroes. But the reason behind Hackerping and why we created Hackerping came from a hackathon held by Google, where these things, we will come back to these things a lot, but these things with the commercial side and the technical side of things started growing. Because if you're visiting a hackathon at Google, there will be a lot of technical skilled people, but not that much commercial strong people. So since I was a salesperson before, I realized that it's very smart for me to take that branch, that people will have a high technical skill. I have to complement with the commercial side. And when visiting Linköping's companies, I realized that, like, all of these don't want a new software. They want a hackathon in this town. They do not want an employee scheduler. They want a hackathon. So I asked the founders of that hackathon, or the teams of that hackathon, if it was possible for us to create such a hackathon in Linköping. And like 2 days away, we had the aim on we should create Sweden's largest on-site AI hackathon. And we should do it quick. We should execute fast. And we should use AI to our advantage. I had the great privilege of doing this with both Peder Linder, which is the Swede with most diplomas from Stanford, from what I know at least, over any time. He has worked with fantastic companies in San Francisco, and also with Per Lange, which is an amazing sales profile and an extremely good lecturer, very inspiring people. And we together executed Hackerping, first some hackathons in between to learn and to dare and to make mistakes to execute it. And then in the end of the event, the 4th of April, only 4 months in between the hackathon I had and the hackathon, or the hackathon I participated at, and the hackathon that Sillers and I, together with the partners called Hackerping, occurred. There was only 6 months, and our total revenue for the entire event was 250,000, and that might seem like something that, can you do that for such a small amount of money? I mean, if you creating a hackathon in 6 months is impressive as it is, but to also keep down the cost, that's even more interesting. That's even more impressive. But the recipe behind that was to use AI, that we, in a way, saw what is the most critical, what is the business critical parts of the companies we're doing the hackathon for, but what is also our most business critical parts. Can we use AI to help us in different ways? And I've spoken about this with the two heroes, Siller's team before, that guys, that we have reached out to 150,000 people. We have not only put in 250,000 to create the event, but also we have created partnerships worth 250,000. So if that, and this also means that the power of collaboration. Together, we could reduce the cost, and we could make more the star of the show by only do collaboration. So with collaboration, we can do a lot of things and superposition us in a cool way. And Hackerping also became then Sweden's largest AI hackathon. And I had a very cool chat with someone at Google around that we are actually aiming towards the same thing. But we did not only then do this during Hackerping, but Google managed to do the same thing a couple of weeks thereafter. So one can practically say that we created 2 of Sweden's largest AI hackathon, onsite AI hackathon, from October to June in 1 year.
Amazing. This screams like there needs to be another one. Let's see what the future brings. But this builds a great bridge to the world's largest fixathon. Now I'm advertising a little bit for Norskin, where we met. Well, we didn't meet there. We actually attended, and we took part in the same team. And that was my first participation in a hackathon. I didn't develop myself, but I was in a team of 4 that created an amazing and astonishing product. I would love to spend a few minutes on talking about the digital twin solution that we built during that day. Can you speak more about that?
Absolutely. Yeah. So, well, let's start with this describing what the digital twin actually is. So, as you hear in the world, it's a digital twin over an environment. You basically do a kind of simulation or a model, a pattern over the reality you're living in, but you're doing it digitally. And these can be done over different types of levels. You can both do it, in a very easy type of way. You're creating a simple model, and you can do very concrete and realistic models that counts in every single. I've heard about one model that company I worked at before did for one of the F1 teams that had 1 square millimeter precision, I think, or if it was even 1 cubic meter precision over a racetrack that cars are running in. So you're basically doing a simulation of a real world. And this is a fantastic thing. You will see that more in the future, I'm very sure of. But I would say that actually the thing that stuck out in the hackathon and the greatness of that is that we all have used, I mentioned Lovable a couple of times, and I mentioned this complexity, the power on building something very, very realistic, exact, and something that is more in draft format. And one can say that Lovable has done the same thing with web development. I remember a couple of years back, I'm a web developer myself, a system developer, and I remember that just for fun, I asked for an offer from a web firm, like how much will this website cost to build? And they got back to me and said, yeah, it's 50,000 crowns. And I was like, but I will do only a static website. I mean, does this mean that I get some extra functionality and so on? And sure, it did. But I thought for a second, like, okay, so if I had 50 days and 1,000 as my consultancy fee per hour, would I be able to make this? I'm a system developer. And yeah, that I would. So I actually did create the thing that they asked for in 1/10 of the time. And launch it, worked perfectly fine, did the things I need. And that's something that I believe also Lovable understood, that if you want to make basic things, if you want to make drafts, then Lovable is the perfect tool. I mean, Lovable is a great service if you want to do prototypes, if you want to get your idea to go from idea to reality, from dream to reality, and do that very, very quickly. As I said before, there might be hazards along the way. You always have to be certain that you are not exposing security critical parts of the systems, and obviously it's very, very important to understand that you have to scale things too. Building a website like this works perfectly fine at a certain level, but if you add more complexity or use it to a larger crowd, then you really have to understand your code. So one can basically say to understand our product in the best possible way is that we did not create vibe coding so that you write a text and get a website, but we created vibe modeling, which is when you are writing a text and get a digital twin as an output. A digital twin that is very, very modular, so you can add your own different package into the system and let your employees and also outer users further develop your system. And this is very powerful because with such a solution, you do not have this axis of I'm very technical and strong, and I'm very good on finding visuals, doing different use cases. You combine these two exactly as we do. So you have the possibility to go from idea to reality and get something that's visualized in a nice way.
So what I'm hearing you say is that basically, suddenly with this solution, non-technical people with vibe modeling can create their digital twin models based on whatever need they have. Is that right?
Exactly. that's true. And I would say that that's perfect on spot. And the cool thing about it is the same thing. If we see it from a cost perspective, I mean, I told about 50,000 crowns to get these websites a couple of years back. Now anyone can just write or describe what they want, and it can become a reality. They can bring it to life in the same way. I mean, building a digital twins today, it's a very expensive task. I've heard about digital twins costing 1 to 2 million Swedish crowns. But that's something, that's something you want if you want to do something very, very perfect. If you want to do something that's up here and have the precision. But if you want to just get an understanding, get a simpler model to be able to understand the problem better, to make a draft, to make a prototype, then it's much more efficient to use our tool, because it don't require expensive licenses. It's affordable. It is not a system that requires heavy computation, so you don't have to have a strong GPU. And thirdly, which perhaps is the most important one, now you can also become augmented by the experts in this World AI. And before we spoke about, it was the foundational models, your own competence, your own built models, your own built knowledge, and the intersection between. In the same way, we can do this in our model. So you can either drag and drop and have full possibility to interact in the system and have it as a game, for example, Sims. But you can also take it 3 steps further, which is that you can either describe what you want and get the things you already manages that you don't want to focus on, that you are 100% sure or well known on how to do. These things you can then describe and infer it to the model, quite close to supervised learning if you speak in ML terms. You can chat with AI. Nowadays, we're having discussions back and forth with ChatGPT, for example, or Gemini to get an understanding on how to do things. This is also possible. You can have your own experts chatting around with to get a better understanding of the problem. And also, actually, we have the possibility to vibe code or vibe model objects. So you can go from a text to a 3D file, and in that way extend the environment and have even more learning data. So in that way, it's quite close to reinforcement learning, that you're working with trial and error, executing back and forth to extend the system and the world you have.
It's pretty amazing how time has developed. I started my working career actually as an IT consulting in 1998. And what is happening now in the era of AI, it's crazy. It's crazy. I'm so much looking forward to working more with you, Alfred, in Elorie AI and other projects. Thank you so much for being my podcast guest today. It was a special one for me. And next week is going to be really cool, because we will meet again at Tech Arena and also at a fair in Linköping. I will come down on Tuesday. So it's going to be a great time, Alfred and Uli time in Linköping and Stockholm. Once again, thank you, Alfred, and meet next week.
Thank you so much, Uli. It has been so nice speaking, participating in this fantastic podcast, and I can only say likewise. I'm so happy to do this together, and we have realized by time, that we have this connection, the commercial perspective and the technical perspective, and it's a winning recipe. So thank you so much for doing projects together, and let's make dreams into reality, as we said during the Hackerping times.
I love it.